Are you winning? Do you need help in your life or business? Could you use some inspiration, business strategies, and success principles? I'm Daniel Gomez, award-winning business coach, keynote speaker, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you create a successful life and elevate your business. Together, we will discover the keys that unlock your success and dreams. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we have a special edition for you today. We got a treat. I'll tell you what. You know we always inspire you. You know we always educate you. And you know what I say here. Get out your pen, and you definitely want to get out your paper because Miss Sylvia Sundermann, she's going to drop some massive wisdom, and you're in for a treat today. Sylvia, welcome to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. I've been looking forward to this interview with you, and I know the beautiful, amazing person you are. Do me a favor, introduce yourself to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, please.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My name is Sylvia Sundermann, and I am out of El Paso, Texas. I am a personal trainer, group fitness trainer, and I own my own gym for the past 6 months. It's called Fierce Intensity Gym here in El Paso. And I just recently got to work with you all too, with Mari Gomez to write a chapter in that beautiful book behind you. So that, that's me. Yeah.
That's you. See, look, she's being bashful right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
She's a rock star. She's like, yeah, she's being humble right now. But no, you know what, Sylvia, I'm excited to really have you here. Just, you came and you spoke at our women's conference. It was amazing. And like I saw another side of you that I never saw. And you just opened up your heart. And what I love about you is you're real. I think there's so many people out there right now that they try to copy other people or they try to be someone or somebody they're not. And what I really admire about you is that you're you, right? You come, I'm Sylvia, and in that power that you came here to San Antonio when you spoke on stage here, like you had people crying. Like it was powerful.
it was a beautiful event. It really was. And I honestly do believe in being authentic to the core. Authenticity to me is a big thing. I think that's why it kind of took me a very long time to open up my gym or do something, because I overly focus on trying to be just me and authentic. There are some things that you do need to bring in that help, but I like to just put myself out there to whatever I feel that I'm called to do for me, for my clients, for what my path is.
Yeah, well, you said gym, right? What
Yeah.
sane person would go out and say, I'm going to open up a gym? What made you want to, like, entrepreneurship it's not an easy jam, right? And you're doing it, but what was the brain changer moment for you where you said, I think I want to open up a gym? Like, no one just wakes up and says that. What led to that?
I have been working as a personal trainer for a couple of years now, but out of my garage. And I was teaching for 13 years. So for me, it was just the summer boot camps. In the summers, I would help my fellow teacher coworkers come in and get, a month in of like a little boot camp to like just get us going for the following year. And when I decided to resign after my husband passed, I spent a whole year of healing, a whole year of what am I supposed to do now? I couldn't even get myself into the garage to work out for myself. And there's a lot of pictures that show that in my cheeks where I kind of stopped doing what I fell in love with and what kept me going, what kept my anxiety down, what kept my depression down, what kept me going. And after that year, I just said, I'm gonna open up the garage again. And I did that from that weekend. I just said, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna open up this garage again. And granted, my garage was like packed top to bottom, side to side, full of just stuff that I had just taken out of the house. And, through grieving, you just like shove everything into a corner and you don't even want to look at it. So that weekend that I did post it, I said, I'm opening up and these are going to be my classes. And I got quite a few responses, which I was thankful to the Lord. But then I was like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do with all this stuff? So I had to grab my boys, and in one weekend, we just took everything out. We cleaned up. We opened up at least half of the garage to get going, and then the rest I did little by little. And after that year, it was playing with me in my head, like I want to do more. I could still work with my clients out of my garage, but there's only so much you can do and so much growth you can have. And during, especially, like, some people don't like the summers and it being so hot in the garage, or the winters and
Yeah.
it's so cold in the garage. So for me, that wasn't helping others. It wasn't, helping me either.
Yeah.
Um, so it just played with my head, and it was just like I just kept praying about it and praying about it and praying about it, and I just started looking. I just
So let,
started
so,
looking.
so so let me ask you this, because there's a lot of business owners out there. I was one of them. I worked for my home. Wait, right? Well, I mean, we invested some in an ice studio at our home office, and we have our office there. But this past year, God said, you need to go out and get an office. And we got another office, and then we upgraded here. And I was like, but I was scared to do it. What gave you the courage, the confidence to step from, right? Because it's not, I think there's a lot of business owners that are listening to the show right now that they're in the same predicament you were. They're in the same situation where they've kind of tapped out and they've outgrown, right? They're already bursting at the seams where they're at, but they're scared and they won't take that leap. What was it for you that really made you, that gave you the confidence and the faith to jump?
Exactly that. I know the faith, the just plain out faith, the just knowing that if I don't do it, I'm never gonna do it. And the fear inside of just staying where I'm at just made me feel even more stuck and even more
Mm.
depressed because I wasn't fulfilling what I needed to do. So just just the feeling that I just did it. I know to many, and many did tell me, like, you don't even know what you're doing. You're not a business owner.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Like, how are you going to succeed if you don't even know the business side of it? And I don't know. I told them I have no
You know what the ironic part is? Most people that have a business plan, you know what they do? They fail.
idea.
I'm
So
serious. So right. So by God's grace, I've been one of the top business coaches here in Texas, and it appalls me how many people, like, they write their business plan, and then they rewrite their business plan, and then it's still not good enough, and they overplan. And I love what you said. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching this us right now. Are you over planning? Right? There is such a thing as over planning. As we're stepping into 2025, maybe your problem is you're planning too much. And listen to what Sylvia just said. She just, it was the faith that carried her to do it. She didn't have the plan. She didn't have the small details figured out. She jumped by faith. And I love that about you, Sylvia, because that's exactly what I did when I told the world I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I didn't even know what business model was, if there was even a business model for motivational speakers. I just did it. And from there, God grew it and blessed us tremendously. What would you say to a person right now who's starting 2025? They didn't have the 2024 they wanted, but it's because, unlike you, they didn't move. They didn't get that bigger opportunity, that bigger gym like you did. Maybe for them it's an office, whatever it may be for them, or maybe they didn't buy that new equipment. Speak some words of encouragement to those people right now, please.
I say start now. And I can't say I went exactly just by myself. Um I did go 6 months with a coach that out of here, out of El Paso. And she just mainly mentors women, and especially Latina women here in El Paso. And I went 6 months with them and took classes on leadership and set goals and things like that. Did I set a business plan? No, I didn't. I didn't have it full, like, this is exactly what I'm going to do. This is how my gym's going to look. This is how much revenue I'm going to bring in. This is how many clients. Like, I did not do that. To this day, I'm still figuring that out. But to me, it's find the people that are going to inspire you, that are going to push you, the people, like-minded people that are going to keep you going, and just do it. Just sign the contract and continue looking for those people that are going to help you. Continue making those friendships and networking with people that are going to guide you and push you towards, going the right way. Because if you try to get the business you want, but continue the life that you had out doing things that are not serving you or your business, then it's going to stumble quickly, very quickly. You need the people that will push you. You need the faith that will keep you going, not just faith within yourself here at home, but finding the group of people that have the same faith as you do in whatever it is that you follow in life.
So would you say that, right, once you took the step, then God met you at that level of faith at that next step, and then he provided what you needed for that step. And then as you took another step, that what you needed for that step was provided?
Absolutely. And I continue doing that. I don't take a step forward without praying about it first, without making sure that I sit quietly and think about what it is that I have to do. A lot of times, many tears come because I don't know what will come. It's
Yeah.
like you hear the calling, you hear the Holy Spirit, and it just moves you, and you just want to pour out in tears because you know that what you need to do, it is hard. It's hard and scary to even push forward. And I've talked to you a lot about being scared to push forward because it is scary, especially doing something new and not feeling worthy enough to do it. But every single step that I've taken has been through that prayer and sitting down and making sure I journal it down and making sure that I'm doing the right thing for me. Do I have a lot of people that tell me you should do this, you should do this? Why aren't you doing this? Why haven't you opened this way? Why haven't you done? And I hear them, and maybe I should, but not right now. That's not what God is calling me to do. So I'm slowing down.
I love that what you're saying. That's power. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you? First of all, let's circle back to what Sylvia said. Are you stuck at a step? I love what you said, Sylvia, because the moment you step forward, and God gave you the next things you needed for that next level of success, right? He fulfilled your needs and what you needed for that next level, that next season of business. But you kept moving forward. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, man, I'm stuck in a step and your business is stuck because you're stuck. You got to
Mhm.
release the faith and you got to know that when you take that next step, that God has everything you need for that next step. But if you never take that step, you're never going to know. And I love what you just said. Like, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Where are you? You're being distracted with what they're saying and what they're saying and what everybody's saying, but you're not listening to what God's putting in your heart. And I love that you said that because so many people, Sylvia, don't know how to tune out the noise. The way you said that, what helps you to tune out the noise when you're hearing all these ideas? And the truth is, everybody's idea is not your idea.
Mhm. Yeah, no, they're not. That is something that comes to them for them. And even people that have their own gyms here in El Paso, and you see how their ideas and what they're doing, but that is their journey right now. That is for them. Right now, my journey is to follow what I need to follow. And when I tune things out, I come and I just stay in my own space. I won't really talk to many people. I'll stay hermit mode at home for a bit. I do go to work and I do see my clients. Of course, that's daily. But they do drive me and they do help me focus because through them going to work and seeing what progress they're doing and what we're accomplishing helps my ideas flow. And then hearing what they need helps my ideas flow even more because how can I fix my building for them? How can I serve them in different ways? And then coming home and just putting those ideas together in prayer and on paper so that I can see it for me.
Are you an aspiring speaker? Do you have a book that you've been wanting to write for months, maybe even years? Or are you an aspiring podcaster? You want to start that podcast like the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show and don't know where to start? Well, at Daniel Gomez Enterprises, we can help you do all three. We can help you become that paid speaker share your story to the world, write your book, and get your podcast launched and help you produce it. We'd love to help you. Give us a call at 210-663-5954. That's 210-663-5954. We can help you become that paid speaker, write that book, and launch your podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call now.
What's one of the two or biggest obstacles you had to overcome so far in business for yourself?
The biggest obstacles right now
Yeah,
have been,
like something that you've overcome that you're like, it wasn't easy, but you overcame it, and like, well, like how did you overcome that?
well, the first one that came was when I first opened. I had my grand opening June 29th, and that first week my clients started. That Wednesday, there was a huge thunderstorm here in El Paso, huge thunderstorm. And for some reason, my roof decided to cave in, and I had just got it completely ready and fixed, and it was ready to go. And when I walked in that morning to open up for my first clients, I see all the roof, like the ceiling, everything on the floor, all over the turf. Thankfully, my equipment was not damaged. And I literally walked in, I looked at it, and I was like, oh man, took a deep breath. And first thing I did was call the property manager and figured it out. But it was devastating because you're ready to start, you're ready to get going, and your clients are paid, they're ready to go. And then you have to, okay, I don't know how long this is going to take to get fixed. And it got fixed in a week, thank God. And we kept going. But that was a major one for me. How are you going to handle that when you walk in? Are you going to fall to pieces? Are you going to have a nervous breakdown? How is it that you're going to handle those kind of things that happen because you have no control over it?
Yeah.
And, it was just a matter of like continuing and having that total full faith in God, saying, okay, this is what you wanted to do. This is what needed to happen right now. Not that God created it to happen, right?
Yeah.
But these are the challenges that I have to face right now for my journey, for whatever reason you want me to face them. And
I love that perspective, right? Listen to what she just said, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't see the obstacles as a dead end for herself. She said, okay, if this is the challenge that's coming into my life right now, there's a reason behind it. So many times people don't realize that it's in those moments of adversity and the challenges that we grow, that we become resilient, that we're fortified. And I love the way you say that, because so many people, when that adversity comes their way, they start to complain, they start to get upset, they get frustrated, and right away they go to negative town, right? They start talking negative, they don't see the good in it, and right away they focus on the bad. But you saw it as, okay, this is something that I'm going through, because somehow, even though I don't understand it this moment, it's making me a better person. It's making me a better business owner.
yeah, it slowed me down for a bit. Because it was very rushed. It wasn't rushed. It was like, okay, we got to get it done by this date. And so by that time you feel tired, you feel stressed, you feel frustrated, you feel all these emotions. So I think it was like, hey, okay, we're going to pause right now, take a
Yeah.
week to get your ideas back together and get them going. So that's what I did that week. I started working on different things that I can do, membership ideas and just different things. And I just got to doing that. It's just a matter of how are you going to work with it? And it does bring you into negative feelings. It absolutely does. You feel crushed, you feel sad, you feel emotional, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Those feelings need to come out. But what are you going to do with them? Are you going to yourself in that victim mode? Are you going to keep yourself down, or are you going to push yourself forward? Because we can't always be just positive. Of course, there's that feelings that roll in, and then you're like, okay, no, let's move them out a bit and then see what we can do. But
So,
yeah.
let's say that there's a couple of viewers right now watching, and the finish to 2024 wasn't the way they wanted it to be. We'll just say December wasn't the month. We're here in January now, February, and they're stuck in that negativity. What would you recommend? What's one or two things they could do to get out of that negative mindset, out of that toxicity, that way of thinking?
Well, that takes a lot of work and practice first and foremost to be able to learn to push yourself through those feelings. Because if we have grown up already not knowing how to shift them, then it's hard to get to that. But I would absolutely say that if you are stuck in those feelings and you can't seem to get yourself out of them, find somebody that can help you, that you can talk to. If you have a church, go to church, talk to somebody there. They'll absolutely help you get through it. If you don't, then, find somebody that's close to you that will be honest with you and help you focus yourself and ground yourself so that you aren't in those feelings and not exploding from emotions, but more
Uh,
using them to guide you.
I love what you're saying because think about this, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you listening to this episode, you harbor that negativity? You harbor those toxic emotions and you suppress them. And we don't deal with them. We say, it's nothing big. It ain't gonna bother me, or it'll go away. And it doesn't because you don't deal with the deeper issues. What people don't realize, Sylvia, is that those emotions are gonna come up sooner or later. They're gonna come back up some way, somehow. If you don't deal with it, it's gonna come up in a sickness, a disease, anger, like you said. You don't deal with it, and then you some small little incident, it makes you explode. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen to what Sylvia's saying. Just having a conversation and talking to someone will help you release that negativity, will help you release it. And sometimes just talking things out. Like you have to have eh, a friend that you can speak to, that you can confide in. And maybe you don't. Maybe I love what Sylvia said earlier in the episode. She hired a coach. She worked with the coach for 6 months. Like you got to understand that we all have blind spots. I have blind spots. That if you don't invest in yourself, then who's going to invest in you? And the same way that Sylvia learned goals and leadership and whatever other skills she learned from this coach, like maybe you're in a part of your business where you're trying to figure it out by yourself and you're frustrated because you keep thinking you can figure it out. But the truth is this, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what you don't know. So listen to the advice that Sylvia's saying. A, get a coach, hire one, or B, go talk to your pastor, go to a church, plug into someone that you can speak to, because I think the worst thing that we can do, Sylvia, is just think like, I'll be all right. It'll go away. And the truth is, we end up coping the wrong way, right? We end up coping with food. We end up coping with alcohol. We end up coping with whatever it may be, and that's not healthy. And we never really solve the issue that's at hand. And then it's going to always surface at a different time in our lives.
It absolutely is, that's for sure. I know I went through the whole coping with alcohol and partying, and many didn't see it as, oh, she's coping because we were, quote unquote, having fun. But it does bring you down. It does bring you down, and thankfully I was able to tell myself, hey, so you need to stop. But then again, all those feelings, we keep blocking them, but they come from like way past. They come from things that have happened to us since childhood, maybe teenage years, and we don't go back to it because we're afraid. And then it starts coming out in different ways in our adulthood. And it comes out in fights with our spouses. It comes out in, at work. You're not handling things right at work, or you don't have good relationships with anybody because we hold on to all those feelings and we blame the people when, in all honesty, we need to help ourselves deep down inside. We need to help ourselves heal from whatever it is that happened to us, whenever it did in our life.
Yes. Well, one thing that happened for you last year in 2024 is you became a published author. You're part of the Finding Your Inner Beauty anthology. How was it for you to become what was the feeling that you had when like you got your book and you're like, that's me, like that's Sylvia Sundermann in the book, like wow, like do you realize this, Sylvia, that less than 2% of the world's population is a published author?
No.
And
I've heard it
yes,
now, but I had never even thought about it before at all. And I'm grateful for the path that led me to you all, and knowing that I can do the things that I am doing now. I've had lots of wonderful opportunities and lots of wonderful people around me. I still do have a mentor within her foundation here in El Paso, and they're just magnificent group of women. And I love that I've been able to join you guys and learn from you all. Like, I had no idea what path this was going to take me when I said yes to writing this chapter. When they called me and said, "Do you want to do this?" and told me about it, I had no idea what path it was going to take me. I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just get my story out. It'll help me heal, because
yeah,
that's a big part of why I did it. It'll help me heal. It'll help me help people to understand their grieving process, to understand what they're going through. And then, yeah, when I got the book, it was still, I held it and I was like, oh, at first it was like, oh, it's just a chapter, like, no big deal. Um, but you all have helped me to come to an understanding that it's more than just a chapter. It's a beginning, and from a beginning, comes great things.
yeah,
No, there's no stopping.
yeah.
Stop yourself.
So what did you learn about yourself as right? You committed to writing a chapter and finding your inner beauty. Now you're a published author, but on the journey from the document, the blank Word document, to becoming your chapter in the manuscript, what did Sylvia learn about herself in that journey?
I've learned that I can trust myself, that I
Mm,
can have that courage to be able, just like I had the courage to say, yes, I'm going to open up this gym. I could have the courage to say, yes, I can do other things, that even if you are not, this is not something that you thought you would ever do. I never saw myself um, doing anything bigger than, just staying in my little corner. Um, I, it's just something, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling of like, wow, um, who are you? Where,
yeah,
where did this come from? Growing up,
w-
being being in a little corner and not being able to be seen because you're scared to be seen. If you're seen, everybody
yeah,
know what's going on at home. If you're seen, everybody's gonna, know that, oh, this is what's happening to my mom. Oh, this is, and you just shrivel up in a little corner
yeah,
and you don't come to it. And as you grow older, you continue doing that. You continue trying to,
yeah,
show yourself and show your light, but there's little things around you that will try to, they tries to dim it, and you kind of, if you don't heal from it, you let
yeah.
yourself.
You know what comes to mind with that is like as kids, I don't think as adults, you pointed a reference, right? There could be stuff in your childhood or stuff in your teenagers that you didn't heal from. And I think for me, I'm right. I'm still going through there's still limited beliefs that we all have. And when you said that, I thought about what everybody tells us as kids, right? Don't talk to strangers. Just keep quiet, right? You go to church, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Or you go somewhere, cállate. No digas nada, right? Just be quiet. Don't be disrespectful. But not that you're being disrespectful, but maybe you have a question, but no, be quiet. Or don't talk to strangers, right? And I think we carry these beliefs with us, and we're like, well, I can't talk to strangers, and we put ourselves in a corner. And for me, one of the big beliefs that I'm so grateful to God that I've overcome is that I thought, man, I can't have a good time without drinking. And a friend of mine, she called me. She goes, Daniel, I'm going to tell you what God put in my heart to tell you. I don't want you to get mad because just, I said, tell me. She goes, God says your next level of success is going to be no alcohol for 6 months. Give them 6 months with no alcohol, no wine, because I was coping on wine and I didn't see it. And I said, she goes, what's wrong? Like I got quiet, but I didn't get quiet because I was mad at her. I was mad at myself because I was refusing to change in this area of my life, right? I wanted this next level of business, this next level of success. And she goes, I go, no, I'm mad at me. Like, I'm mad at Daniel. Like, I'm kind of pissed off at me because I'm choosing a glass of wine over the blessing that God wants to give me. And it's like, it's overcoming that belief that, okay, God, if this is really you, help me. And I believe it's you. And overcoming that belief that I can go somewhere and have a great time without having without having any drink. And it's
Mhm.
amazing that once you make that decision, it's like I had my first Thanksgiving without wine. I had my first Christmas without any alcohol. We had our first, right, New Year's, no alcohol. Like, it's amazing when you realize, like, man, I'm taking back my power. And then people say, well, what's wrong? It's like, it's okay not to drink if you don't feel like drinking. And sometimes I feel like so many people are peer pressured into drinking because it's the cool thing to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think about this. In 2025, ask yourself, write this question down right now. Where are you refusing to change? You're getting the same results over and over and over again because you don't want to change. Where is that at? Is it in your marriage? Is it in your relationship with your kids? Is it in your health? Are you overweight and maybe you need to hire someone like Sylvia because you're trying to do it by yourself, but you need somebody to hold you accountable? Where in your life? Because the truth is this, Sylvia, what we do in our life, it overflows into our business. It affects it, right? Our personal life affects our business. So where are you, ladies and gentlemen, refusing to change it? And you already know that God already put that thought in your mind, right? Like, this is what you got to do. Like, Daniel, you were being cabezon, right? You were being hard headed. Like, what would you say to somebody about that right now?
I would say exactly that. Just don't wait for what they call a New Year's resolution. New Year's resolutions are always broken. They last a month and then you break it. If you're really gonna make a change for a lifetime. Make a change knowing
Mm,
that it's because you need it, because it's healthy for you, because you want to succeed, because this is what you want for your life. You don't, change doesn't come like full blown, okay, now this is what it is and that's it, I'm giving up everything. You have to take baby steps. And those baby steps need to lead you to where you want to be completely. That, and the same thing, like I tell my girls when they're trying to eat better, I tell them, you're not gonna completely like, oh, now you went from like eating out all the time and all this stuff, and then now you're just like completely super clean plate every single day. You're gonna fail your diet. You're gonna just fail it because you need to take those baby steps. You need to know that I'm doing it because I care about myself, because I want to be better myself. You need to train your mind to change that mindset of wanting to, thinking that it's okay to do everything that the whole world is doing. You need to
yeah.
be okay with you changing that. Your life doesn't have to be the same as everyone else is out there in the world that is doing whatever they want to do. You can't
Mm.
make a change without being a change,
I think
So
you said that, and so many people, they try to fit in and be the status quo and to be cool or to just, ladies and gentlemen, listen to what Sylvia's saying. What is a quote or a scripture, Sylvia, that you rely on in times of adversity? A scripture or a quote that you rely on times of adversity?
oh my gosh, I'm so bad at memorizing things.
It don't matter. Just because you could say it
I,
isn't,
when you put me on the spot, I can't think. Uh, and I did write it in the book, actually. It's a Philippians. Can you read it? It's last
I
page.
I can
It's on.
do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yes, exactly. I am so bad at memorizing anything, not everything and anything. Do not a song, I song even that I've known since I was 10.
So
I will
so
not.
so 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 why that scripture though?
Why that scripture? Because you can do all things that you put your mind to, and just knowing that God has your back. He's right in front of you at all times, but he also has your back, which means he's all around. He's not just beside you. He's all around you. God can, push you towards things that you thought you could never do. It's it's just everything. Everything.
Yeah.
There's no stopping point. We give ourselves stopping points. I give myself stopping points all the time. All the time,
Mm.
I know I could do more than what I do. I know I can be more and have a bigger voice if I really push myself. But we stop ourselves as people. That's why we need God to push us, knowing He will. There's no
Yeah.
reason that everything in your life that has happened, if you look back at everything, you're still here even after all those adversities. He has not left you. If anything, we leave Him. He has not left us. We get through it.
Wow.
We get through it. So the next thing that comes shooting at you, we need to take it and say, you know what? It is a terrible thing that has happened, but we are going to get through it because we got through this.
Amen. Love it. That's powerful what we just said that. If somebody wants to connect with Sylvia Sundermann, how do they connect with you? What's your Instagram handle or your website they can visit?
My Instagram is serenityhealth_fitness. My gym page is on there too, Fierce Intensity Gym. My phone number is 915-490-1807. And I don't mind sharing it because that's what my clients communicate with me all the time. I am on, I have my website as well, fierceintensity.com. And yeah, I think
And
that's
we'll
the
have all that. We'll have all that on the show notes, ladies and gentlemen, that we can connect with her. If you need a trainer, if you need some coaching when it comes to fitness, like Sylvia's a rock star. And thank you so much for being an amazing guest today with us. You've been a big blessing to our audience, and thank you for sharing your heart. And we want to get you back here one day. Before you know it, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna have to pay you to get on my show." That's how
Oh,
famous you're gonna be.
I'm gonna learn more after I get out there for your sticker shock, that's for sure.
Yes, yes, we're going to see you here in March. We're excited to have you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this edition, this amazing show of Daniel Gomez Inspires. Without you, you wouldn't have made us one of the top podcasts in 2024. And thank you for tuning in all of last year. And we look forward to just adding value to you with amazing guests like Sylvia. And like Sylvia said, maybe you need to share your story. We want to see you here in San Antonio, March 21st and 22nd at our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, where you too can become a paid speaker and you too can share your story to the world. So until next week with another amazing guest, we'll see you next week here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Thank you once again, Sylvia, and everybody else. God bless y'all. This is Daniel Gomez Inspires, and thank you for listening to our show today. Please share this episode with a friend, leave us a review, and subscribe to our show. And for listening to our show today, I want to give you a free gift. I want to invite you to our Millionaire Mind community. Text the word millionaire, that's millionaire, to 210-942-5059. Yes, join our community today and receive millionaire affirmations, inspirational quotes on a weekly basis. That's 210-942-5059. Text the word millionaire today and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening to our show.